Hello and welcome to all the Hylians out there. I'm Joe. Today I'll be discussing Link's backstory in Hyrule Warriors. Now, I know it's been a while since my last video, but I'm hoping to get back in the regular practice of things with this channel. And not least of which is because I really want to get back into Zelda these days. The past few months have been rough and I've not had much time, but now I've got time again. Alright, that aside, Zelda is a series where typically Link is a hero who rises up from nothing to something. And there's good reason for this. The Legend of Zelda series has always operated on a bit of a Bildungsroman logic. That is to say, a coming of age story where the hero must rise from nothing to something. The hero's journey, you could call it. But it's very specific. And it's very much for young boys or men. At least for the most part. Although Zelda's found remarkable and very surprising and impressive popularity with the ladies. With good reason. The series is generally really well written. It's very, very well, it's just a beautiful series with great music. But in Hyrule Warriors, what's so interesting is that it doesn't have Link working a farm or working as an apple farmer or a cuckoo farmer or whatnot. Usually Link is someone born in the countryside where he serves more or less as a farmhand in some capacity to a relative or something, such as in A Link to the Past. Or he's from the forest, such as in, well, Ocarina of Time, wherein he is supposed to symbolize the everyman. He's the peasant. And by being in the rural countryside, this appeals a lot to our instincts for naturalism. That is to say, the natural beauty that one can find in nature. And the reason we have to associate him with nature is that he is still an elf boy. And there's those roots in Link, his story, and in the Legend of Zelda overall, that one can find the traces of Shigeru Miyamoto's own backstory, where he'd run around in the forest playing with sticks. And the thing is, the idea of nature being somehow connected and sacred in the Legend of Zelda is a common theme. And the theme is heightened by the fact that the desecration of nature, such as in the case of the Great Deku Tree, is also a recurring theme. Now, knowing this, it is very odd that Hyrule Warriors chose to have Link be, from the very start, a guard for the castle. Or at least he's trying out to become a guard. For all we know, he might actually be from a farm. But what we do know is that he's already come in to try and basically enlist at the start of the game. And the reason this is unusual is that usually Link doesn't come seeking adventure, seeking to be accepted into the service of Princess Zelda. Adventure is forced upon him. And the fact that they decided that instead of it being forced on him, he volunteers, this gives us a very different kind of Link here. Now, he does kind of volunteer in A Link to the Past, but at the same time, there's a certain forced element. And what this means is Link is ordinarily presented as a reactionary. He's reacting to a given scenario around him, namely the usurpation of the throne or the potential return of a demon in the form of Ganon. And in this case, he's not going to have the crown usurped by Aghanim or whomever. He actually is going to go out and seek the adventure. He's leaving his family home to, like I said before, volunteer. So he's a proactive lead. He's not a reactionary lead. And the proactive lead, this is something that the way it's presented and the way what we should get from this is something that is very different from the norm in The Legend of Zelda. And I don't want to imply that he's better in any way, but it's a much more masculine decision in some ways, in that it's full of a macho attitude that one doesn't always associate with Link when one plays the games, being familiar with the kind of reluctant lead that he is. And the reason I'm going to say it's a bit more macho is because he is proactively going out and seeking to be part of the military, which is a very difficult kind of line of work. And the proactive element suggests he wants to prove himself. And given our first view of him in the courtyard, has him trying to show off his sword skills. This is a Link who has something to prove. He wants to show he's not just there for show. He's more than just some peasant boy. He's gonna try to rise up. He wants to seize his own destiny. In a lot of ways, he's a much more determined, almost ambitious figure than what he ordinarily is. But not in a bad sense. Ocarina of Time Link didn't really want the adventure. He just wanted to be around his friends. He wanted to play. And he's a child, so he should be allowed to do those things. Link to the Past Link just wants to live on the farm with his uncle. Perfectly reasonable. And given his wish at the end to just restore everyone and he just goes back to the family farm, this Link enjoys life a little more. He's a little older, I think, than the one in Hyrule Warriors. He's a little more tempered. You have Link from Wind Waker, who obviously is enjoying the life on the high seas. And I think it's a really awesome trait. Like, I actually think maybe Wind Waker, to an extent, and Hyrule Warriors Link have the most in common in some ways. They're both very proactive. They're both seeking out adventure rather than letting it come to them. And this element of theirs makes them a little more hot-headed, a little more hot-tempered, I think. And it adds a different layer, a different element to these characters. But maybe that's just me. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you'll stick around for the rest of the upcoming Hyrule Warriors podcast videos I really want to make, because I really want to do a series of commentaries about every character in every chapter in the story mode of this game, because I've recently been getting back into it. So I hope you'll agree to come on the adventure with me as we explore this and the other Hyrule in Focus and Ocarina in Focus stuff we have planned for you here on the channel. Hey everyone, I hope you all don't mind me adding at the end of this video a quick comment about how, as everyone knows, I'm a bit of a writer and I've been writing for a while on Substack now, but I recently got accepted for a great publishing deal with a really good publishing house. But the thing is, because I'm fairly new, they want to have a mixed deal. What does that mean? It means I have to pay for part of the publication myself, and they'll pay for the rest. So what this also means is that I would have to pay for a publication package of sorts, a kind of deal between them and I. Now, I don't have the means to pay for the whole thing on my own like that, because the best package, I guess, or cheapest one would probably be $7,000. So, and that's USD. So I kind of got to find a way to cough up that money. So I figured I'd ask you all if you'd be willing to support a crowdfund. The crowdfund, though, would be only for about half that cost, because I could handle the rest of the fees myself. So The whole idea is to ask for $3,500 from you all, and in return, you all will get merch such as posters, mugs, another writer's books, because she's willing to team up with me on this one, and Crown of Blood. All books will be signed either by her, Daniel, or myself. Well, Crown of Blood will obviously be signed by both Daniel and I. And we will ship it out to you, and the money will be used purely for publication purposes. And yeah, I hope you all will check out the link below. We've got a great many perks, a great many offers. Hopefully you all will find that they're suitable. We can't offer the book as such because it's not been published, and it'd be about a year away from now. So I don't think anyone would be willing to wait a full year to get a book. So this seems to me the better option. Now, if anyone would prefer the book, I'll think about putting it up. But like I said, I can't guarantee that. But do let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And I do hope, if you have the means, you will support this crowdfund. And I hope you all have a great day. Take care.